Look at this photo of Barack Obama from his early presidency. During his 2008 campaign, he famously refused to give up his Blackberry. For global political leaders and high-powered executives, this device was an absolute necessity, earning the nickname Crackberry, because users simply could not stop checking their inboxes. That corporate obsession quickly spilled over into pop culture. Celebrities like Kim Kardashian became the public face of this addiction phase, carrying the device everywhere as a high-profile status symbol. If you were important, you had one in your hand at all times. Yet today, the devices are entirely extinct. Entire generations of younger smartphone users have never even held one. How exactly did the undisputed king of mobile communication lose its entire empire? When a company that defined the way we work vanishes this completely, it is rarely a standard business failure. It happens when a team builds a perfect solution for the present, but fails to see how the world is moving away from them. This is the RIM Interactive Pager. Founded in 1984, Research in Motion tackled the complex problem of sending text over early wireless networks. Their solution relied heavily on this physical QWERTY keyboard layout, giving professionals a reliable way to type on the go. This design evolved into the classic blue Blackberry smartphone released in 2002. Notice the screen-to-keyboard ratio. It was engineered specifically for composing text. Combined with secure push email, a system that instantly routed incoming messages from a server directly to the device, it immediately became the default communication tool approved by IT departments worldwide. This chart shows exactly how much control they gained. By their peak, BlackBerry had captured over 50% of the US smartphone market, moving millions of physical units every single year. They had secured a dominant market position by catering specifically to enterprise hardware needs. That focus on physical security in keyboards worked perfectly for years, but it also left them unprepared for the incoming consumer revolution. This is the original iPhone retail box from 2007. Instead of a text-heavy interface and a plastic keyboard, Apple presented a grid of colorful, diverse application icons. They reframed the mobile phone, turning it from a strict email tool into a touch-driven pocket computer. 1 year later, Google's Android operating system arrived on devices like the T-Mobile G1. Android took this touchscreen model and spread it across multiple manufacturers, allowing many different companies to build devices around a unified software experience. Caught off guard, BlackBerry's leadership rushed to release their own touchscreen competitor. This is the BlackBerry Storm. Its interface, particularly the awkward horizontal touchscreen keyboard, was widely criticized for being clunky and difficult to use. While BlackBerry remained fixated on hardware specifications, Apple and Google were building expansive software ecosystems filled with third-party developers. They had entered a new era where the platform mattered more than the phone itself. Their core mistake came down to who they were listening to. By catering exclusively to enterprise IT managers who demanded strict security and physical keyboards, BlackBerry ignored the growing consumer appetite for rich media, for mobile gaming, and intuitive apps. Attempting to catch up, they fractured their own user base. They tried to maintain their legacy operating system for old corporate clients while launching the new BlackBerry 10 platform, and eventually even attempted to sell Android-based phones. None of these moves captured a unified audience. This flowchart illustrates the final collapse. Once Apple and Google improved their own enterprise security tools, large companies and governments disconnected from BlackBerry servers and migrated their workforces over to iOS and Android. The very strategy that enabled their rise, a total focus on secure physical keyboards for corporations, ultimately left them with no way to pivot once the market moved on. To save the remaining business, CEO John Chen made a difficult strategic calculation. He decided to kill off BlackBerry's physical phone manufacturing entirely. Instead, they pivoted to software, specifically a system called QNX. Look at the digital interfaces lighting up inside modern vehicles. BlackBerry quietly embedded its code into the dashboards and autonomous systems of millions of cars on the road today. They used their reputation for data protection to become a provider of cybersecurity and Internet of Things platforms, securing networks for hospitals, banks, and governments. Their trajectory shows that fighting competitors with similar products is useless if you fail to recognize when the entire market has changed direction. Furthermore, ignoring the everyday consumer experience is a long-term risk. even if your primary revenue comes from locked-in corporate clients. The general public may always associate the brand with obsolete hardware, but true corporate survival is possible when a company is willing to move past its physical products and build a new foundation on its internal strengths.